Back on the Newsfeed PM, thanks for staying on. A decision on whether the ANC will disband its KZN and Gauteng leadership is expected to be taken today. The two provinces were among the worst performing during last year's general elections. However, the decision to be taken by the party's National Executive Committee will only be made public after the ANC informs the branch structures in the two provinces. Juniour Khumalo has been monitoring the meeting and joins us now. Juniour, good to have you on Mtunga. What is coming through the wires? It seems the ANC is not completely convinced that the remedy of disbanding would yield the kind of positive trend that they want to see happening in these provinces.
Indeed, Thabo, the ANC is not entirely convinced that disbanding these two big provinces is the solution that is going to assist them when it comes to trying to regain that electoral support that they lost last year in May during the general elections. When we came into this meeting, there was a report that was delivered by the National Working Committee, the structure that is in charge of the day-to-day running of the ANC. In that report, the NWC had recommended three options to the National Executive Committee of the ANC. Those three options were to retaining the status quo, to disbanding the current leadership, or to strengthening the current leadership through redeploying some NEC members into those provinces to try and strengthen the leadership there. But as it stands right now, we did get an update from the ANC national spokesperson, Motsiri, who did indicate that there are now only two options left on the table. The ANC, the provinces, the two provinces that are being under the spotlight today, this NEC meeting, have all agreed that leaving the status quo as is not an option. The ANC lost a lot of electoral support in both provinces. In Gauteng, they dropped from 54% to about 34%. In KZN, they dropped as well from around 50% to the 17% that they currently have right now. So both parties are in agreement that something needs to definitely change in how the ANC has been running the two provinces. But let's take a listen to what Motsiri had to say about the options now being reduced to two options.
The option, originally we had what were three options. National officials presented a report to the National Working Committee. The National Working Committee came to a conclusion that the option of not doing anything and keeping these two pieces as in the same way and maintaining the status quo is no longer an option. Why is it no longer an option? It is precisely because there is an acknowledgement that there are serious organizational weaknesses, political weaknesses that have got, and service delivery weaknesses that have got to be tackled, head on. And therefore we had to look at only the two options. That something has got to be done in terms of strengthening these two provinces, rebuilding in these two provinces, making sure that the vision of renewal finds concrete and practical expression. That is an agreement by everyone, including this National Executive Committee that is currently sitting. Well, what we do know is that where there have been disbandments, if you look at the results, it's a mixed bag of results. I think that it is always important to address the situation in terms of the merit and facts before us in every situation. The situation that has to do with KwaZulu-Natal, state of the province there, politically, organizationally, and otherwise, and that of Gauteng are different. There may be commonalities, but they're different. What is common, of course, about them is the fact that these are the two largest economies in our country. They contribute significant percentages to our national GDP. They are the most populous. They contribute a lot to the national vote share. It just makes more sense and logic to focus on those. But as I say, we don't have a report that suggests that disbandments have produced a negative trend consistently. Rather, we also don't have a report that suggests that reinforcements have produced either a positive or negative trend. So we've got to be very balanced in terms of how we look at this particular discussion that we're having about the two provinces.
The ANC national spokesperson there, Mahlengi Bengumutsiri, saying that disbanding provinces or regions has not always yielded the necessary or required results for the ANC. So as the ANC discusses these two different provinces, they need to see what is going to work for both the provinces, but also giving us an update on the atmosphere within this NEC meeting, saying that there are very robust discussions that are being taken as the NEC is trying to find a solution for both provinces. But it seems like a lot of the NEC members within the meeting are leaning towards reinforcing these two provincial executive committees instead of disbanding them, because they are both looking at the local government elections that are looming, but also looking at the ANC internally and how it is going to go forward after the 2027 national elective conference of the party itself, Thabo.
Well, Junior, that particular outcome not likely, of course, to be announced to the public anytime soon, at least not up until it is taken down to the branch structures. I mean, this process already has been back and forth for close to 12 months now. How long will it still continue?
Indeed, Thabo, the elections themselves on the 29th of January, it's going to be at least a year since those, 8 months since those elections happened, the general elections. The party's National Working Committee went in August to KwaZulu-Natal. They also went to Gauteng to speak to the structures. There was that postponement. The NWC then met the PECs in December. Then it said that it was going to take a decision in December, but because of the various presidential visits, the president was unable to be in an NEC meeting, so that decision was kicked along down the road again. It was supposed to be taken before the ANC's January 8 celebrations. This did not happen. This is why we find ourselves here today when the ANC again is saying that we are not going to be able to tell you the decision. Even though it's going to be taken today, we still have to go to our structures and explain to them the decision. Then it will be communicated to the media. Tomorrow, the National Working Committee of the ANC and the top officials are going to be meeting. So it's also unlikely that the meeting, the outcome of this meeting is going to be communicated tomorrow. So the likelihood might be that this outcome is going to be communicated to the general public on Tuesday. This is what we understand. But the ANC is going to be updating the media and the general public, Tab.
Ndunga, we appreciate your time. Thanks for the update there. That's Juniour Khumalo live for us outside the ANC's NEC meeting that has been taking place over the weekend.